Alright guys, it's time for me to do a some more different options and variations on this game. And this is the fourth look. I did read some of your comments, and I did take in consideration some of the picture settings, and they're all good. I mean, you guys have some great ideas, and I will look some of them, and I will implement some of them that you guys have told me to look into. Well, here's the one in particular that somebody wanted me to do. Now, I don't know if this gentleman has the same TV as I do, but let's try his options right here. Okay, he wanted to do backlit all the way to high, of course, because it's HDR. And of course the contrast has to be all the way high for HDR to take the effect. I'm sure we all know this by now. The backlit and contrast has to be maximum. Now brightness, it's at 40. That is fine. That is okay. Sharpness, I left it at 8, but someone told me to keep it at 55. Remember, I'm just trying different variation. Do I agree with sharpness being at 55? Probably not. But what I'm seeing right now is, hold on. Well, here's the thing. This 55 sharpness percentage variation, it's good, but the problem is this. Here's the problem. The game just becomes more outlined. You know what I mean? Everything becomes more outlined. And I don't know if that's necessarily a great thing. You don't want everything to be outlined. Sure, you'll see more of a detail and foliage, you know, on the face and everything. But I don't know if that's something you want to do. So I personally would avoid using the sharpness to 55. What I would do is I would bring the sharpness all the way to 0, man. Believe me, because you already have checkerboard resolution. 3D, it's rendering that resolution with high textures and everything, so you already have that checkerboard resolution with HDR, so you don't really need to pump out that much of a sharpness, especially since you have a big TV like I do, 65-inch. Color, you can keep it at 55. That's fine. Let's see what else we can do. There's a clean view. Someone told me to turn off dynamic contrast, and I did. Dynamic contrast is off. Color tone, it's standard. So you definitely want to turn dynamic contrast off. You don't need that because you already have HDR. Smart LEDs, you can turn them off or keep them on low or keep them on high. I would personally keep them on high because I want that peak brightness, you know, so you can keep the LEDs high. Remember, we're going for peak brightness here. That's the whole idea of HDR, is for you to have that peak brightness. Alright, so I'm going to move on to a next level, but there won't be any spoilers, guys. Remember, you're not going to get spoiled here. There's no spoilers, so don't worry. These videos, they're all about technical variations. And remember, I'm doing different types of variations. So you guys, hold on. I want you to go ahead and write this down. Write it down. Pause the video in about 1 second. Okay, make sure you write this down. It's on a dynamic mode. Go to expert settings. Pause the video. I assume you guys have paused the video and you are writing this down. If you haven't, do so. Make sure you do so. And remember, down below here, dynamic contrast is going to be off. Color tone is going to be standard, and LEDs are going to be high. Digital clean view, I left it on automatic. That's because I apply also this to my cable. So you can turn this off if you want to, but honestly, it's okay. You can keep it on automatic. It's not going to really do anything. It's not going to even take the effect. So I wouldn't worry about it. Alright, so I'm going to move on to a next level slowly here. I'm not going to spoil anything. Remember, there won't be any cutscenes here. I'm not going to spoil it, nothing here. Alright, so here we are on this one level here. I just want to show you really quick. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to take my camera out, and I just want to show you, point out, if you guys will, not just to show you, because you guys cannot see HDR through the camera lenses. It's impossible. Remember, I'm doing a visual aid here, and I'm also doing a different variations of custom calibrations. So let me zoom in my camera. So I don't know, obviously, if you guys can see my finger here, I'm pointing out. Just look at this detail here in the textures, and right up here, the HDR truly pops, man. I turned down my low light on camera so you guys can see this a little bit better. Just look at that light shining down, beaming down. Look at this detail. This is what this console, PlayStation 4 Pro, it's taking advantage of. So when you ask me, is PlayStation 4 Pro worth it? Extra $100? The question with this game is yes. Not only is this game worth you buying the PlayStation 4 Pro, but the new update that's coming out that you can plug in your hard drive and do many other things like boost on your older games. Yes, PlayStation 4 Pro, it's worth the update. I mean, it's worth the buy. I'm sorry. It's worth the buy. You should definitely buy it. I don't work for Sony. I'm just telling you honest truth. You know that I'm not fanboy. I'm just telling you PlayStation 4 Pro is worth it for $100 easily. And now's the great time to get it. Here, let me give you a different angle here so you can see it. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit more. Even if I zoom in, the textures are sharp. Everything is sharp here. The HDR is just unbelievable. The shadows, the volumetric light, everything. They really took hard time and hard work to make this game look great. And that's the one thing that, this is the main reason why I'm giving so much respect to these developers and taking really a good care not to spoil this game. We'll take a screenshot. You can check this out on my club. By the way, the name of the club is Mr. 4K Upscaler Joint. Also, just look at the detail here from HDR. Look how detailed that is. Obviously, you cannot see it, but look at the deep, dark blacks right here on this TV. And the reason that happens is because of this. What I did here is I went to my visuals and I turned down the brightness to 35. So that's one of the reasons as to why it looks that way. You can also do a photo mode. You can use the field of view if you want to. How much do you want to see? But I like to keep it this way. We'll take it like this, 75. View roll like this, and then I'm gonna hide the player, and then we're going to take a photo. Here we're going to take a screenshot right now. Here we go. Remember, all of these screenshots you guys will be able to see. I'm gonna also zoom in like this a little bit more so you guys can see it. There. Let's take this screenshot as well, up close like this so you guys can see it. We're going to move it up a bit like that. There you go. Alright guys, so this is the end of the fourth video that I did. I'll see you on the fifth variation.